guys, my name is Folari Rebecca and I'm your host on the REBIRTH program. REBIRTH is a program where we'll be speaking to beneficiaries and graduates from the Community Innovation Hub to share their experiences, the challenge, the struggles and the opportunities that they've gained and faced at the Community Innovation Hub. The Community Innovation Hub is a community center that is aimed at selecting and empowering young people and teenagers by creating a platform for them to learn innovative skills so that they can become change makers and problem solvers. On today's episode of REBIRTH, we'll be speaking with Jonathan Godwin, a beneficiary of the Community Innovation Hub, to share his experiences, his struggles, and the challenges he has faced at the Community Innovation Hub.
My name is Godwin Jonathan, and I am a member of the REBIRTH program at the Entrepreneurs Hub. I came to know about the hub through my mentor, Mr. Sojime Gbonwon, who was my teacher while I was in secondary school. He was my math and computer science teacher. I can't really say how many years, but officially I joined the hub in 2018. But before then, I had known about the hub since I was in GSS 3 through my teacher, and after secondary school, then I became a full-time member of the Entrepreneurs Hub. The hub has helped me build up my skills, my communication skills, my tech skills, my leadership skills, my innovation skills, my mindset. Basically, the hub has helped me shape my mindset and help me see the world from a different lens entirely, and see how much value I have to give to the world and how much value I have inside of me if I can only develop it. The hub has also helped me shape my personality into becoming a better individual that would be a great asset for the community, help me towards my personal development, building up myself, and becoming a more valuable person to the community, becoming more independent, becoming more sociable, and also help my professional career, because I've been able to build up my professional profile here at the hub. And being a new undergraduate, I already have a profile that can well enough compete with somebody that has already graduated from university. And the hub helped me get to that point, helped me push myself, helped give me a push forward in my career, so I would be a better, a more proficient and efficient person in society. I have gotten so many opportunities from the hub, and one of the most vital one is access to information. You know, they say the key to success is wisdom, and wisdom can only be gotten through knowledge, because wisdom is a derivative of knowledge. And knowledge, they say, is power. But then, knowledge lies in how much information you have. And the hub has helped me be able to access those information that would make me a knowledgeable person, and then a wise person that would become successful in the world. And the hub has also helped me get other opportunities like access to scholarship opportunities, access to fellowships. So I'm currently part of 2 fellowships. One, Ashoka Global Young Change Makers, which is a program that is only for young change makers around the world who are doing good work to better the society, better the world at large. And also I'm part of the Ubuntu Leadership Academy, which is an academy that trains young people to work on making the world a better place for everyone, because they believe in the philosophy of I am because you are, that we all exist because other people exist. Through the hub, I was able to access such fellowships, and I was even able in the first place to have the kind of mindset to be acceptable in those fellowships, to have the kind of skill set that make me acceptable in those fellowships. And then the hub helped me get access to so many scholarships. Last year, I won 2 scholarships. One was national to the University of Ilorin, and then I also won an international scholarship to the African Leadership University. And this was as a result of me being a student of the hub. Then I was able to have the kind of knowledge that is needed to be able to get into those schools, even having to know about those opportunities, because the international scholarship is supported by MasterCard Foundation, and having access to such a kind of information is not something that you can get by or that a regular teenager can get by just being on the internet and doing whatever, but actually having a focused view or having a well streamlined kind of set of information. I would say sign your child up straight away at the Entrepreneurs Hub, because if you want them to become the kind of leaders that you watch on television, the kind of leaders that you see and you want them to look up to, they can also be those people that people look up to in society. If only you can bring them to the Entrepreneurs Hub, so they will get their mindset changed, they will get the right skill sets that they need, they will be able to become better people, they will be able to become assets, because there is value in every one of us, but then this value can only be unlocked because we are all diamonds in the rough. And without refining, diamond is just an unattractive piece of rock. And here at the Entrepreneurs Hub is where the refinement takes place. It's where people get to become better. It's where all young people get to become better. Here at the Entrepreneurs Hub, young people get to achieve the potentials that God had placed in them in the first place. And to any young person watching this, I will tell you there's so much that is inside of you. Sign up straight away at the Entrepreneurs Hub and get to unlock all those potentials. Thank you. Mr. Soji is my mentor, my leader. I would also call him a sort of father because he took me in and helped me he gave me a special place in his life. And I met him in secondary school when I was in JSS2. I got to know about him because he was my maths teacher, and then he was also teaching computer science in secondary school, and he always takes us for different competitions. I got my first proper contact with him while we were doing the Commonwealth program, which was even how I got to know about all the Commonwealth countries, because I acted as the Secretary General when we had a display of how Commonwealth processions take place during the Commonwealth Day. And from then I started having a closer relationship with him. So that was how I met Mr. Soji. He has impacted me in so many ways by giving me access to so many information, so much knowledge, so much learning. I got to apply for several competitions, several exposures that I've gotten because of him. I remember in 2018 we applied for the GT Bank Simple Big Impact Challenge, and we won that challenge, and I was only able to get access to that information because of Mr. Soji. He taught us how to prepare a business plan, which was asked for which the challenge asked us for, how to prepare a challenge brief, how to answer challenge briefs, how to think on solutions to certain problems, and how to look at the world and see not just the things going well, or see just not things, or not just see things going wrong, but what we can do to impact each of those things, how we can harness those things that are going well for good, and how we can also turn around the things that are not going well and make them turn out well. So those are just a few of the special ways he has impacted me. He has helped me see the world differently, helped me know how to think differently, taught me several work ethics, taught me several life ethics, several life hacks that any young person that wants to be successful needs to know about. When I finished secondary school, my parents had already moved back to Delta State, and I went to Delta State for 2 months, but then I realized that there was not enough for me there. So I gave Mr. Soji a call, and he told me that I was welcome to come stay at his place, to come live with him and his family, and I stayed with him for 18 months before I got admission into the university. Okay, what I would say is the biggest lesson I've learned from him is that the world can be what you make of it. They say the world is your oyster, but then you have to know how to cut into that oyster to make the most out of those opportunities you have available, to make the most out of even the challenges that come before you, and how to harness them into becoming opportunities. Like they say, making lemonade out of lemons. And that, I would say, is the biggest lesson I've learned from him, because he's a great teacher, he's a great mentor, he is empathetic, he's someone that sees problems and sees ways to solve them. He's someone that even pushes people beyond or pushes people to see the potentials that you not even believe that they have in themselves, because there are certain times I look back and I think that sometimes it feels like he even believes in me more than I believe in myself, because there's some things he would say and some things he would share, and I would think like, do I am I really all those things? Can I really get all those things done? And then after like a whole month of working on whatever project it is, I realized that I even surpassed my own expectations, and he had already seen those expectations beforehand. So he's a very wonderful teacher. He's the kind of teacher that I want to grow up to become, someone that has the heart of the students in mind, someone that wants not just that wants what the students want for themselves, that doesn't just see what he thinks the student wants, but gets down to their level and sees what they actually want deep down, and then helps them go for it, help them achieve all the peaks and heights that they want to achieve. So I come from a family of seven, two parents and five children, and I come from a family in an underserved community. My parents do not have so much, and it was more than a bit of a struggle growing up, trying to make ends meet, trying to buy all the materials needed for school, trying to get everything. Like at different points, I remember when I had to like borrow a lot of textbooks because I loved reading. So if someone, or if we have like an assignment due in probably even if it's the next day, I would have to borrow a textbook in school and do the assignments before school closes, just so I can get it done, because I cannot afford to get those textbooks. So it was so much, but I've always loved reading, because I believe I saw reading as an escape route, as a place where I can get into a different world, a world that I create with just my mind. And I also used to love write. I also love writing a lot, because it's like I'm shaping a whole different world, a whole different reality, and it's just me and myself. So those struggles, I would say, shaped me to become the kind of person I am, because I learned, if there's anything I learned, is how to adapt to any situation. Because when there is enough to eat at home, we all eat enough, and when there's little to eat, we all also learn how to adapt. My siblings and I learned how to adapt to that situation. So it was a lot of struggle growing up, going to school, which is so far away, and then there's no transportation fare, and then you get to school and you're so worn out. But then you see how much money you have, and I noticed that, okay, if I spend that money to eat now, I would not eat till lunch, or I will not eat till I get home, or till dinner. So I have to probably save the money till it's time for lunch break, and then I eat. And it was all so much. But I would not say I'm Superman, but I thank God for the grace that He gave me to focus on my studies, because I always put my mind on my education, because I saw that, okay, the only path to get out of this and have a better life for myself and for my entire family is through having a proper education, because that is what will help me balance up the gap that was not naturally created by myself or even my parents, but being able to bridge that gap and cross and get to that height where, okay, we are comfortable, we are all comfortable, is through my education. And that's why I gave my education the premium that it deserved. So my volunteering experience at the hub, I volunteered at the Entrepreneurs Hub after I was a student for a while. I then volunteered to start training students at the hub. From the skills I'd learned, training students in return. And a lot of people ask me how, after leaving high school, everybody wants to work, everybody wants to earn income. And then looking at my background, it is the first thing that comes to mind, you want to go and get money and then earn a lot of things. But then volunteering helped me get a lot of skills that even if I was selling fuel at the petrol station, which was like the option that was open to me, had even written an application letter and submitted it, and I was employed to come and resume the next day before I became a student at the hub. If I had done all that, I would not get some of the skills that I have now. I would not be where I am now. I would not even be sitting here doing this interview now, because my life will have a whole different track. I don't know how it would go, but I don't think it would have gone as beautifully as it is going now. I also volunteered during the Google Online Safety Training Program, where we trained over 3,000 teachers in schools across Nigeria, both public and private schools across Nigeria. And yeah, I also trained over 1,000 students during the Google Online Safety Program, and I was part of the volunteers that carried that out from the Entrepreneurs Hub. I also volunteered for the Ubuntu United Nations program as a trainer, as a volunteer trainer for the program, and the program was attended by the UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres, by the Princess of Jordan, Brahim Ali, by the President of Portugal, and two Nobel Peace Prize winners. So it was a big program, and getting to volunteer in such a program was a big one. It was a great feat, and I achieved that by being a student at the Hub, and because of the skills I already learned and volunteering, and by how I'd seen that volunteering is like the way forward, because when you volunteer, you get to use resources for free to learn. You get to get on-the-job experience without even having to submit any application letter, but then you are volunteering to do something, even if you're not getting paid for what you're doing, but you are also getting a kind of payment, because you get your knowledge increased, you get your skills increased, you get even your portfolio increased, because you have done so much work. And those are some of my volunteering experiences. My journey to Ilorin. I got admitted to the University of Ilorin, and I spent just 2 semesters, or I would say 1.5 semester in the University of Ilorin. And it was a great experience, because I firsthand got to experience what it felt like to be an undergraduate. So much freedom, so much free time. As much as we have so much to do, then you could also decide to have so much free time, because nobody forces you to go for lectures. It's not like secondary school where there's any roll call and then you get flogged for not coming. If you just stayed at home all the time and then you come for tests and exams, nobody bothers you, nobody will call your parents to tell them that you did not come for classes. So it was like a whole new world, and I thank God I was able to make the most of it, because I got to win the Interfaculty Freshers Oratory Contest, and then got to become the SUG president for one day, which was a fantastic experience, because I got to know what it felt like to be the #1 citizen in the University of Ilorin among the thousands of students that are in the school. I joined the debating club, and that was how I was able to get to that. I also did a couple of volunteering with the media team in the university, and a couple of other things. I would say I made the most out of the experience, because I did not waste my time, even if I had my fair share for the first 2 weeks of being lazy. But then when I realized that there was so much to do, the curriculum was so different from what I was used to. The class structures, the learning structure was different from what I was used to, so I had to adapt to it and make the most of it. So that's my journey through Ilorin. So my journey to Rwanda, I got admitted to the African Leadership University. I got a full ride scholarship to the African Leadership University in Rwanda, and it is a great opportunity, a great thing to experience. I am looking forward to the start of term in February, where I will get to experience what it's like to learn by doing, because that's the principle of the African Leadership University. It's a full ride scholarship sponsored by MasterCard, all expense paid, both feeding, both housing, both health insurance, both flights, 2 flight tickets per year. So much. It is a great experience, and I look forward to starting classes in Rwanda. My advice for upcoming teenagers, well, I would say that as a teenager that I still am, I know what the struggles of being a teenager is. Sometimes waking up all confused, not knowing what you want to do, not knowing how you're going to do even the things you have planned to do, and feeling like the world is all messed up and you're trying to find your place in the world, trying to find the or leave the years of being a child and then embrace adulthood, and then it's like everything is being thrown at your face so fast. So what I would say is, in those moments, find your niche, find where you fit in, find what makes you fit in. If it's writing that makes you fit in, write. If it's music that makes you fit in, do music. If it's singing, if it's drawing, do whatever, find your niche. That is the most important thing. And above all, the best way to live life is to not only live for yourself but to live for other people, because you realize that you find purpose more when you are working to ensure that everybody around you has a better life. So everybody can be a change maker. You don't have to be Albert Einstein to be a change maker. You don't even have to be Mandela to be a change maker. But you just have to have the heart that, okay, we all live in this world. We all, one way or the other, contributed to the problems in the world. So we should also be the ones that fight for the solutions to the world, because aliens from space are not going to come to say, okay, we're coming to solve the world or solve the problem of the world, or we're coming to dominate the world and we're going to make the world a better place. And there's no magic spell out there with any magic book that's going to change the world. But you have that potential inside of you to change the world. The spark may be little now, but fan that flame, and use whatever you have to make that flame expand. If it's writing songs, write songs that can change the world. If it's drawing, make art that can change the world. If it's whatever, if it's writing, write. You have that gift inside of you. It would be a tragedy if you die without people celebrating your gift, if you die without people getting in contact with the special thing that is inside of you. Let that your special fly. Let it fly out. Let people see it, embrace it, and be who you are above all else. My advice for underprivileged kids is, I would say, find a good mentor, somebody that will direct you on the path, because it's easy to go on a well-worn path than to go on a path where you're trying to clear the whole path all by yourself. So find a mentor and then grab every opportunity that comes your way, because they say opportunity comes but once. Yes, you may get some opportunities twice, 3 times, 4 times, but then you may not get those opportunities twice as well. So every opportunity you have, make the most of it, make the best of it, make the best out of that opportunity. And my final words would be to be who you are. Be yourself. Don't be scared of being who you are. Sometimes when you look at yourself and there's so much potential, there's the fear to shy away from it. But be who you are. Let that special in you fly. And above all else, don't forget the place of God, because He is like the biggest factor that we can ever place into anything. Just pray whenever you're confused, and God will make the best for you out of everything. Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure to speak today.
With resilience, commitment, and hard working, you can become the star you want to become. Dear parents, I hope you've seen how Jonathan became a star. If you want your children to also become like Jonathan, quickly enroll them at the Community Innovation Hub.